The topic is attitude takes you to altitude. So I'm going to start out the talk by asking you some questions. So I want you all just to answer these questions for yourself. Where are you on the ladder of success? Do you rise above the situation? Do you enjoy the view from the top? Are you a rising star experiencing an uphill battle? How motivated are you? How passionate and excited about life are you? Now, if you want to rise to new altitudes, work on your attitude. That's basically what we are going to talk about today. So let's talk about power of positive attitude to see what that is all about. It's contagious and infectious. Have you been around people that they are so much fun? You just want to sit by them all the time. You want to associate with them. But you can't do that, right? They have lives to run. They can't be with you, keeping your company all the time. People love to be around positive individuals. That's a natural thing. People like to buy products from positive people. Isn't that the case? You always go to the store that the people are nice. They treat you nicely. People like to work for positive individuals. I mean, look at it. Nowadays, I've got a 21-year-old who is in college. I always tell her, look, it's not in a couple of years you'll get your degree, but you're going to be in competition with so many thousands of other graduates. What is going to make you stand out is your attitude. Make sure you get along well with people. It's not so much, everybody have gone to school, everybody have taken calculus, chemistry, whatever, all those subjects, and you get a degree. But then when you go for the interview, you just need to impress them with your outlook, with your attitude, the way you are enjoying every second of that interview, and etc. A positive attitude, listen to this, may not solve all your problems, but it may annoy enough people to make it worth the effort.
So true. It's so true.
Isn't that the case? Yes. Isn't that the case? Once I was in a classroom, jam-packed classroom, and I was just serious into the work and talking away, and all of a sudden, one of my students, I still to this day remember his face. He raised his hand, he got up, and he said, you know what? I hate you. I said, you do? Why? What have I done? I mean, I didn't get offended or anything. I said, why? What have I done? He said, you know what? You're always smiling. You're always happy. I really don't know what's wrong with you. I said, that's not a good reason for you to hate me. That's not a good reason. He said, because, you know, there are days that I just can't stand it. But I come here, you just make me happy. So he just didn't like that. So basically, whenever I read this quote, I remember him, the way he, you know, he stood up in class. So how important is attitude? How important is attitude? Now, I want to bring an example from outside mathematics, outside the world of attitude. Just imagine a tree. You all can imagine a tree, right? Suppose this tree represents tree of life. Can we do that? This tree represents a tree of life. There are fruits on this tree. Luckily, this tree bears fruit. Okay, so it has some fruits on it. In life, our fruits are called our results. Is that true? Our fruits are our results. We don't like them. There aren't enough of them. And they are too small. Can you all give me some examples of some of our results of our life that we are not happy with them? We think they are too small. We think there aren't enough of them. What are some of the results? Your paycheck. Your paycheck, is that the result of your tree of your life? Your tree? Yes. Relationships are the results of the tree of life. What are the other results? If you have children, children are the result of your life. If you go to school, the byproduct, the result of your schooling is the result of that tree, right? You will not be happy with that end result. You say, I've gone to school one full semester. I took 3 classes. Didn't do that good. I'm not happy. Okay? So those are the fruits of your tree. Okay. So what do we do when you are so unhappy about those results? What do we do? Do you all know what we do?
Do something to change it.
To change the what?
Results.
To change the results. Put more attention on fruits or results, right? We put more attention on the fruits or the results. Now, what creates those fruits? Seeds and roots. Are we doing the right thing, putting our attention on the results, on the fruits? Because a tree is a tree because of some seeds or roots, right? So if you put all your attention on the fruit, polish the fruit, put it in a nice case, is that going to make the fruit look nicer? If it's not a good-looking fruit, if it does not taste good, how is that going to? Are you going to put some spray on it? Put it by rose water, hoping that fruit will smell good? No, it can't. The fruit has to smell good. The fruit has to taste good. So all these things I'm doing, these are all artificial. I don't know that this tree has seeds, has a root. So what is under the ground creates what is above the ground, right? So I need to be working on what? On the roots. I need to be working on the roots of that tree rather than on the fruits of that tree. So what is invisible creates what is visible. What is invisible creates what is visible. So today you see me with this crappy attitude. Don't know where I'm getting that from, right? It's from my roots. It's from my roots. It's my thoughts. It's the way I look at life. Okay? So no matter how much you sit here and you tell me, school is so good. You need to be working. I say, I really can't. I can't work. It's my outlook on life. So it is basically in my roots. So you can't be working on my fruits, on my results. So let's look at an important principle. If you want to change the fruits, you will first have to influence the roots. You first have to influence the roots. If you want to change the visible, you must first change the invisible. You must first change the invisible. Now, we are talking about this. Let's just see. So what is visible, what is invisible? We talked about what is visible is my relationships, is my children, it is my schoolwork, right? So what is the invisible here? What do I need to work on? What are my roots? I just said it a few moments ago. It's my attitude. It's my attitude, right? It's my attitude. It's basically my roots that makes that tree of life grow and have those kind of fruits or results. Now, I want to talk about a small truth to make life 100%. Those of you that are my students, you have seen this, that is part of my course, like this. Okay, if A, B, C, D all the way to Z is equal to all these numbers, someone have been so genius they have done this, okay? So A is 1, B is 2, so on and so forth, okay? Now, hard work is only 98%, okay? So many people, they preach, they say, hard work will take you everywhere. Sure, it's 98%. Knowledge It's only 96% though. It's only 96%. Love is 54%. People say I am like this because I never received any love in my life. I was deprived of love. It's only 54%. Okay? Luck is 47%. My God! We think that we are who we are because we don't have any luck. When God was giving out luck, didn't get much. Then what makes 100%? What makes 100%? Money is 72%. Leadership? No, it's 89%. So every problem has a solution only if we perhaps change our attitude to go to the top, to that 100%. So what we really need to go further, a bit more, attitude is 100%. Isn't that neat? So it is our attitude towards life and work that makes our life 100%. So attitude is everything. Change your attitude and you change your life. So what is it that I was talking about? A few moments ago I was talking about our roots, right? So what is the root of that tree of life? It's attitude that I need to be working on it. I won't be able to change it overnight. It's a process. You have to go through it. Thomas Jefferson said, nothing can stop, listen to this so very carefully, nothing can stop the man with the right mental attitude from achieving his goal. Nothing can help the man with the wrong mental attitude. Oh dear. Nothing can help a man with the wrong mental attitude. Isn't that the case? Emerson said, a man is what he thinks about all day long. Oh dear, isn't that scary? You are what you think about all day. I don't want to know what you're thinking about. I don't want to know. Therefore, the only problem you and I have to deal with is choosing the right thoughts. That's the only thing you and I have to work on. Choosing the right thoughts. So our life is what our thoughts make it. If we think happy thoughts, we will be happy. If we think fear thoughts, we will be fearful. Agreed? If we think sickly thoughts, we will probably be ill. I can just very easily make myself sick by end of the day. I keep telling myself, I'm really not feeling good. I think I have a sore throat. My temperature. I'm really not feeling good. Come, you want to check my forehead? It's warm. I'm really feeling warm. I can make my own self sick by end of the day just by keep telling myself. So I will be homebound, sick. I end up in emergency room. And I can make up a very nice story. Why? Because it's my thoughts. I'm making myself sick. If we think failure, we will certainly fail. You know, many times we take classes in the beginning of a semester, we sign up for classes. Many times when students were coming to my office, they say, you know what, I've taken this class, but I really don't know if I'm going to succeed. I really don't know. Why you don't know? You have to be certain that you are going to succeed. Do not use that word, I don't know. The only person that knows is you. I don't know you. You have to be knowing that more than I do. So what am I advocating? What am I advocating? Habitual Pollyanna attitude towards our problems? No, that's not what I'm advocating. To assume a positive attitude instead of a negative attitude. That's what I'm advocating. In other words, we need to be concerned about our problems, but not worried. So what's the difference between concerned or worried? Every time I have a test, I am concerned about my grade, but not worried. I'm concerned. Concern means realizing what the problems are and calmly taking steps to meet them. Have you noticed students when it's the day of a test or few days before the test, come on in, or few days before the test, they keep running around on campus, you know, they try to get together with as many students in class. Have you studied for the test? I haven't, because so-and-so, the teacher is just so awful, blah, blah, blah. I don't understand anything. They go to another group of students. They try to poison all the minds, you know. Instead of spending the time studying, they keep running around worrying and making others worry too. Don't think I'm an innocent one. I've done it myself. I'm the guilty one. I've done it. I've done it all. Didn't know any better. And then got to the exam and thought to myself, what an idiot. You should have spent all that time studying. What are you doing? At the end of the day, everybody get their own grade individually. The professor does not combine everybody's grade, right? So it's everyone's grade. So I've done it all. So you need to be concerned about your grade, not worried. Worried means going around in maddening, futile circles. You know, going around that circle. It's no use. So what does hurt me the most? What does hurt me the most? Montaigne, the great French philosopher, said, a man is not hurt so much by what happens as by his opinion of what happens. What do you think? A man is not hurt so much by what happens as by his opinion of what happens. Isn't that amazing? And our opinion of what happens is entirely up to us. That's why they say, many people, they say, I just get angry so fast. But gee, it's under your control. You can't just control yourself that you don't become angry. It's under your control because situations are situations. They're always there. So it's under your control. So when someone says something to you and you say to me, I got hurt because of so-and-so's comment. Well, it's because that was your opinion of what that person said. That's why it hurt you. That person might say the same thing to Johnny and Johnny just takes it, okay, that's fine. That's your opinion. It's not going to hurt me. So how can I change my feelings? This is so very important, so I want everyone's attention. How can I change my feelings? We cannot instantly change our emotions just by changing our actions. Here is what we need to do. First, we need to change our thoughts. Then, once thoughts are changed, feelings will change. So thoughts lead to feelings. And next, once feelings are changed, this will change our actions. This will change our actions. And finally, we reach the intended result. And finally, we reach the intended result. So in other words, what I am preaching is this, that thoughts lead to feelings, and feelings lead to action and result. And summation of these, I'll get my result. Okay? So as you can see, it is a important process that we go through. So it's thought, feeling, and action. Okay, so let's see what am I talking about here. How does attitude manifest itself? So if I have a bad attitude, how is it going to manifest in me? My behavior. In my behavior. So attitude drives behavior. Your body language is a result of your mental attitude. I always tell my students when I was teaching in a classroom, I said to them that when you open the door, you come and sit on a chair, I can tell everything about you. I can tell how much you have studied. I know whether you have really studied well or lots of things. So that's why several students that came to me, they say, it's very scary. Are you a psychologist? Are you? I said, no, none of the above. But it's your body posture. Your body is telling me everything. The way you're sitting down, the way you raise your hand, the way you ask me questions, the way you look around. Have you noticed some people, they try to avoid eye contact, you know? You try, I'm seeing, looking at everybody, but in a classroom, some students, they try to, avoid the eye contact. They don't want to have eye contact with teacher. They're the guilty partners. They haven't done the work to try to, cover up. You see, you can't do it. I'm standing up and I can see everybody. Might not be a very tall person, but I can see everyone. So by choosing your attitude, you get in the mood and send out a message that everyone understands. Almost always we have a choice of what attitude to adopt. There is nothing in any normal work situation that dictates you must react one way or another. If you feel angry about something that happens, that's how you choose to feel. Nothing in the event makes it absolutely necessary for you to feel that way. It is your choice. So remember, we have choices. We are free individuals. I make a choice. I want to be happy today. I want to be angry at you. When I see you, I'm going to be angry. I'm going to let you know how I feel. Okay? Since you do have a choice, isn't it better to choose to react in a positive rather than a negative way? It's better on yourself. It's a healthier way, isn't it? It's a much healthier way. So what is life all about? Life is our perception of what it is, not necessarily the reality of what it is. Life can sometimes be great and other times not so great. It all depends on how we are feeling at the time. If we feel good, life is good. If we feel bad, life is a bummer. You ask people, how are you doing? How is life? Oh, it's awful. How could life be awful? How could it? How could it be awful? So how to improve life? Reality is that life has never changed at all, only our attitude. If we want to improve life, we must first improve our attitude about life. Sometimes when I listen to my dad making a phone call, he is on the phone with his own sister or brother. He says, oh, life is not the way it used to be. I'm saying, then I started a conversation with my own dad. I said, what do you mean? Yeah, you don't get it. I said, how? How? No, it used to be like this and like that, but now it's so different. I say, that, it's been the same way. The same way. We are just forgetting how it used to be. So you see, life has not been like this before. Why? It's always been like this. Always. As long as people have been here, life has been like this. But it's just my attitude. So we get into those kind of discussions with that. Put a smile on your face and keep it there. That's what I want you to do. Smile every time you look in the mirror. Do you all do that? Jason, you need to do that. Smile every time you look. Some people, they said to me, I never look in the mirror. Why? Why? You need to look in the mirror and tell yourself how wonderful you are doing, how wonderful you are. Because if you do not pat on the back of your own shoulder, nobody is going to do it. Nobody. You need to tell yourself how good of a job you are doing. You're going to work, you're having a family, you're going to school. Anything better than that? Could it be any better than that? You see? You don't need people coming to you and telling you what a great job you're doing. You need to do it to yourself. You need to tell yourself so that you hear that, your subconscious hear that. You need to have those affirmations. Otherwise, you just can't go on in life. Smile at people when you enter a class or office. See, every time someone enters the room, I haven't seen a smile on their face. Anytime you enter a work office, smile. You're going to change that atmosphere. Smile when you answer the phone. You would think that the person on the other side will not get it, but it's amazing. They can feel it in your voice. So I want you to smile now. Smile. So do you feel your attitude is gaining an altitude now? Some altitude. Give your attitude a little altitude. When someone asks, how are you? Smile and say, I feel great. And you? Don't say, I have had better days. Come on. Say, I feel great. And you? This is very important, especially when you feel bad. The more often you say it, the easier it is for you to believe it yourself. Think about the things that make you feel good and make a list. Try to do as many of those things on the list every day. Take time to help someone out. Kindness is its own reward. When you are kind to others, they are kind to you. Smile when they will smile. Remove the following words from your vocabulary. No. Have you noticed some people, anytime you ask them something, they say no. Can't. Won't. Shouldn't. Wouldn't. I hope none of you are like this. You have to be positive. Do you still feel bad? Do you? Go for a walk, smiling and greeting everyone you meet. I guarantee by the time you return, you won't feel bad any longer. So you're studying at home. You feel so bored studying those pages. Oh, I'm with you. I have been there for so many, many years. At one point, I thought I'm going to become a professional student. I love going to school. I would go back to school at a heartbeat, but then I don't know what to study. At a heartbeat. I love school. You get bored when you're studying those pages. You don't see the end of the tunnel, right? What am I doing? What is this? What I got myself into? Well, don't give up. Get up, go out for a walk, meet some people, smile at some people, come back. You just have a different feel, okay? The minute you start having those kind of negative feels, know that that's the end of it. You should not move on. So at this point, I want to talk about lessons for life, 2 real life stories. Are you ready? 2 real life stories. The first one is the story of this man. Story of this man. Do you all see him real well? No hands, no legs, right? And I want you all to listen to him and then think about how you and I, we are behaving in this life. Now, this is the story of a young man born in 1982 in Melbourne, Australia, with no arms and legs. His name is Nick Vujicic. Throughout childhood, he dealt with many challenges in school, such as bullying and self-esteem issues. Understandable, right? They bully you and I, normal-looking people, just imagine him. Struggled with depression and loneliness as he questioned why he was different from other kids. He wondered what was the purpose behind his life. What was the purpose behind his life? So why God has created me? Look at me. I have nothing. What do I have to offer? At age 7, he tried some electronic arms and legs, but they were too heavy for Nick to operate. They were just too heavy for him. As he grew older, he learned to deal with his disability and started to be able to do more things on his own. He found ways to do things others do using their limbs, such as cleaning teeth, brushing hair, typing on computer, swimming, so on and so forth. Can you imagine? In grade 7, Nick was elected captain of his school and worked with student council on various fundraising events for local charities and disability campaigns. After high school, he obtained a double bachelor degree in accounting and financial planning. Oh my goodness. At age 19, he started to fulfill his dream of being able to encourage others through motivational speaking and telling his story. He says, this is what he said, I found the purpose of my existence and also the purpose of my circumstance. There is a purpose for why you are in the fire. There is a purpose for why you are in the fire. He has traveled around the world sharing his story. Recently, he moved to California. So when you are in fire, there is a reason for it, right? There is a reason for it. So here's the story of Nick Vujicic. One other thing that I remembered, I don't have it on a slide, is that I'm sure you all have heard of Dale Carnegie. We all heard of him. He used to give, he passed away. He used to give public speaking. He's written so many books, and he used to live in New York. He said one day, I was walking on the streets of New York City, and he said it was one of those days after my wife passed away. I was just so upset, so upset. Just, you know, human beings, we all get through those days. And he said, I was walking on the street, and my head was just down. All of a sudden, when my head was down, I just saw someone just so little down there looked at me and said, hello, what a beautiful day today is. He said, I stepped back and I said, yes, you are so right. It is a beautiful day. Guess who that was? That was a man who had no limbs. And he was on those skateboards, you know, with his hands. He was just, there were so many of them, you know, in New York City, big cities, you would see more of them. That was his way of going from place to place. And he said, that gave me a big lesson. I said to myself, what is wrong with you, man? You're educated, you have money, you have everything, and now you are upset? Look at that man. He has to remind me that what a beautiful day today is. He said, I was so ashamed of myself. So ashamed of myself. And then he said, that basically changed me completely. So that's why I want you all to remember that. Do not forget that smile. Keep it there and keep telling yourself that, you know, you are so good and you are going to be somebody soon.